And an inspired rendition of our national anthem. Really getting warmed up here, just moments away. We'll be back right after this.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Tonight, we'll be watching the Minnesota Timberwolves playing against the Charlotte Hornets at Spectrum Center. So for Charlotte, their last game, a win against the Bulls in Chicago. That game was a real shootout. They'd like to keep their scoring up, but get a few more stops, too.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. And here's the upcoming schedule for Charlotte. On Sunday, they'll face off against Anthony Davis and the Los Angeles Lakers. Then on Monday, they'll be playing against Lou Williams and the Los Angeles Clippers. And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup, we've got D'Angelo Russell. Also Malik Beasley out there. And it's Hernan Gomez in at the 4. And for the Hornets, Washington and Zeller are in the middle. Then it's Bridges. Then there's Monk. And it's Graham in at the 1 spot. In the new season, Chris, every team wants that fast start. But when you really think about it, how important is that in the grand scheme of things?
Well, it depends on where you are. Like, let's think about Houston last year with the injuries. You don't want to get to a slow start where you're fighting for home court advantage. So it's very important. And usually veteran teams know that first 2-3 weeks of the season is when you can sneak teams. And if you're a younger team and you understand that, wait a minute, it's all about attention to detail, focus, and playing hard, you can get some pretty nice upsets early because when for young teams, once the scouting report comes out and teams hone in on you, it might be a little bit more of a difficult season as the days go ahead. Yeah, watch out.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the first points of the ball game.
Hey, right here.
Monk, the pass to Zeller. The pass to Graham. Just 5 to shoot. Over Russell. Minnesota with the rebound, coming off that loss against the Nets.
Well, I felt like they were never on the same page defensively in that one. Gave up way too many easy shots.
Well, Greg, they just appeared lost out there. I mean, it seemed like they were scrambling on the defensive end of the floor.
Now, here's Bridges. 17 points for him last game against Chicago. Passes it to Washington. Now Monk. From outside, off the mark. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Coach Borrego and I got a chance to talk for a bit, facing one of the most devastating scorers in the league in Karl-Anthony Towns. Coach knows that slowing him down somehow is critical to securing the win. And Kevin, that is a tough assignment, given Towns has a wide array of offensive options.
Thank you, David. Here's Graham after the made shot from Karl-Anthony Towns. Fires from 14, and the Hornets miss again.
Oh, the setup's good. That's the shot they're looking for, but you can't get them all to go.
And laid in to finish the break. Towns has got his second bucket of the game to go.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
Graham with the ball. He's guarded by Russell. Floats one. Here's Zeller. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, it's fun watching Zeller work on different parts of his game. His pump fake is hard not to bite on.
And with Cody Zeller, he has a very workmanlike approach when he's on the floor.
Yeah, Kevin, and that's what Zeller is all about, playing a simple meat and potatoes type game. I mean, what he does won't show up in the box score, but it'll show up in the standings.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw.
The younger brother of Tyler Zeller and former Suns big man Luke Zeller, Cody has a good chance to be the best of all three.
So he can't get either to fall. Timberwolves have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. That one goes. Count it.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
Yeah, and Greg, they've been a more cohesive team over this stretch, and then that helps account for their lead.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets.
For so long, the Hornets have been a perimeter-oriented team. Chris, now they need to find an impact big man.
Yeah, well, G.A., remember, they did have a couple of good years with Al Jefferson where he was a force inside, but that was the last time the team made the playoffs. More balance in their attack would do wonders for this offense.
And let's take a look at Karl-Anthony Towns' numbers. Last season, he played outstanding. 7th in rebounding, 9th in blocks, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
He was a top 10 rebounder last season for good reason. He's an incredibly intense guy to compete with. And for a full game, too. I mean, just nonstop.
Their focus next trip has to be getting a high-quality shot. I mean, they don't want to start the game 0 for 5.
Good, and the assist goes to Russell. 7 points for Karl-Anthony Towns.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Here's Graham. He's guarded by Russell. For 3, Bridges buries the long-range jumper.
They were pretty tight to start this game. Started out with 4 straight misses. Maybe that one will get them going.
Okogie, the pass to Towns. Dishes to Beasley.
No shot.
Outside, Russell. Pass to Towns.
Watch it, Connor.
Beasley outside. That one doesn't drop. Hornets trail by 8. Here's Zeller. That one, no good. Towns with the defensive effort. Russell passes to Beasley. Bridges with the board. Charlotte's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Here's Okogie. They get it back. So for the Hornets, their last game, a win against Chicago.
Yeah, I was just in awe of the action in that game. I mean, they did everything they had to, fighting off that comeback attempt in the 4th quarter. Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
The Timberwolves shooting their first free throws of the night right here. Free throw, good, Beasley.
Yeah, first year for Coach Borrego as a head coach, but he had a solid start. He's from the Popovich coaching tree. He was given the reins of the Hornets, and he was tasked with improving their offense.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. And with Borrego as coach, offense certainly was more fluid.
Yeah, Borrego, he stresses ball movement. He encourages his players to look for early offense, more spacing in his system that benefits the whole roster.
Monk, the pass to Graham.
I'm up right here.
Back to Monk. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots.
Yeah, really like the defensive focus and intensity at the start.
The defense has done a good job of forcing him into tough shots this quarter.
Here's Washington, and that one is good.
And how about Monk there scanning the floor for the open teammate? That's how you develop a trust from your teammates.
Now, here is Russell. He's tightly guarded, and the dunk by Towns.
And in terms of size, not your typical center, but man, he plays as big as any of them thanks to that terrific leaping ability.
Charlotte calls timeout. This, their first chance to take a look at Minnesota this season.
And just couldn't make the most of their meetings last year. Ended up splitting the season series.
With a break in the action, let's show you the teams with the most second chance points last year. In the third spot, the Timberwolves.
This was a team that was really savvy when it came to getting position under the boards and then getting those offensive putbacks.
Who's watching here?
And here is Bridges. Graham dishes to Bridges. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And solid at just cutting through the defense. Give Bridges a lane, and he'll make you pay.
There's the feed to Towns. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. Washington passes to Bridges. Graham with the ball. He's picked up by Russell. Now Zeller. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. 5 to shoot. No good. Towns with the defensive effort. Down low, Hernan Gomez. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Pass to Monk. The pass to Bridges. He kicks to Graham. No good on the 3.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Now here's Monk, the fast break chance. Passes to Graham. Back to Monk. At the elbow, Zeller. Bridges dishes to Monk. Lets it go with a 3. Gets that one to drop. First one of the game after 4 straight misses.
And how about Monk's ability to get shots up over the defense? He likes to stick it to them, just showing a lot of focus on that finish.
Here's a Kogi. Beasley outside. Goes back up. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. The Timberwolves shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. The first free throw is good. Chris, there are guys that talk a lot of trash on the floor. You played against some legendary trash talkers. Who stands out in that area when you think back to when you played?
And I tell you what, the two guys that are on my mind, they definitely could have talked trash with the best of all time, and that's Pat Beverly. We've seen what he does. He just keeps coming and coming and coming. And that guy, Day-Day, yeah, Draymond Green, the one that plays out there in Golden State, oh, yeah, he has a mouth on him, too. I think you heard of him.
And when you played, who was the best trash talker back in your day?
By far, Larry Bird and Gary Payton. Those two guys would talk trash that so much that you would get entertained into their talking and be like, well, what are you going to say next? I'm having a good time out here. It was always in fun, but trust me, they always wanted to stick that dagger into you, too, while they were talking.
You couldn't hide a smile either. If they start getting you going, you could not hide a smile.
I couldn't, and that was my thing. I talked trash while I was smiling, so maybe no one else knew what I was saying but you. But those guys, yeah, they keep you laughing out there. They talk trash about you themselves after they missed the shot. They would talk themselves down or talk to a fan that was talking to them. So it was always entertaining. The best trash talkers talk to everyone, not just to their opponent.
And it's Turner off the drive. Sweet little floater. And it's an 11-point Minnesota lead.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
Now, here's Rozier. In the game against Chicago, very impressive. Turner with the steal. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Culver's got the ball. And the shot is good. And the Timberwolves lead by 13.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
Well, you think defensively that you try to pack in the lane. I mean, but then that opens up some opportunities for their shooters.
Now, here's Rozier. Here's Hernan Gomez. Back to Rozier. 4 on the clock. Will it go? That shot off the mark. Some solid defense from Johnson. Whistle blows, basket is good, so a chance here for a three-point play.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And just a shade over 70% from the line a season ago. That's an area I'm sure he wants to improve.
And the free throw, no good.
And he's matured in this league. I love the way Nick Batum has done a better job of letting the game come to him. It has made him a more overall efficient type wing.
And here we can check out the story on Nicolas Batum. Last season's performance for him averaged about 9 points a game last year, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. He's been making the right decisions and letting the game come to him. Solid play.
Take a break.
All
Take
around.
a break.
Yeah, GA, I like it because he's not overcomplicating things. I mean, he's just playing to his strengths and taking what the defense gives him.
No good on the free throw. And Chris, to add to that trend for Batum, last year taking less threes, but making them at a better rate.
Yeah, and he's also had fewer turnovers while still creating just as often for others. When he slows it down and doesn't force things, Kev, that's when Batum is at his best.
No good on the second free throw.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Turner against Harris. Pass to Johnson. He's 0 of 1 from the line, missing on his first trip. And the first one drops. And Johnson drops them both. All players look for an edge, Chris. For example, certain guys are just so deceptive with the ball in their hands. I mean, you're always looking for whatever can give you that advantage.
Two of the best. Players and people can complain as much as they want, but Harden getting to the line is genius because he knows how you're guarding him, and basically you got to stay away from him to guard him because he's so skilled. And by the way, Curry does the same thing. And Curry, one of the smaller players in the league, but always finding a way to take the contact, take the bump, but to get the scoring up. And I think as a fan for me, it's fun watching the cat and mouse game between the offensive player and the defender, seeing who can get the best of each other while involving the ref.
Well, they just control their bodies so well. They know exactly what they need to do to get that call.
And it's all on the spur of the moment. I mean, this is
right.
all on the fly. Such genius to watch play.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
We've got 1:13 left to play in the first quarter. Here's Culver. It's rebounded by Charlotte.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
There's the pass to Harris. Charlotte moving it around. Biombo kicks to Rozier. Jake Layman's checked in for Minnesota. Timberwolves on defense. They have a 19-point lead. 6 to shoot. Harris with it. And it's Johnson picking him up. Pass to Hernan Gomez. The shot comes out. Here's Minnesota. They're on an 18-7 run. Here's Johnson. They get the rebound. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Here's Rozier, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
One shot.
What a play there, the hoop plus the harm.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
One shot.
That's good from Rozier.
Oh, the fearlessness by Rozier. That's what helps him earn the trip to the stripe.
Culver with it. 11 points for him in that last game against Brooklyn.
Set up, set up.
Fires for three. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
Ringing the bell. That's the way to close a quarter.
And you see this so often, league-wide, ending the period with a three-point attempt.
And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. Timberwolves lead by 19. We'll be back shortly live from Spectrum Center. All-star big man Karl-Anthony Towns is hungry to maximize his potential.
I want to be the best player who ever played, and I feel that I could do that. I think I have the God-given talent and the God-given abilities to make it happen, and I have total confidence in myself every single day. I wake up that I could be the greatest player who ever played. I know if I continue to put the work ethic in and continue to do all the little things I need to do, I could find myself in that conversation. But, you know, obviously I got to learn every single day and never take no days for granted.
On his coaches, Greg and teammates love hearing that.
And how can you not? I mean, that kind of drive is special. And with his tools and potential, hard to put a ceiling on just how good he can be.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And quite a position here for the Timberwolves to be in. What do you think, guys?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
Well, no question. It's been stifling thus far, preventing that offense from establishing any kind of rhythm.
On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. James Johnson is out there with Lehman. Then it's Culver. Then it's Evan Turner. And it's Reed in at the 5 spot. Now here's Batum. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Back to Rozier. Turner with the steal. And we've played just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. And the layup's good off the glass. Turner's got his second bucket of the night.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Rozier looking around. With a floater. He can't get it to go. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. They'll be playing host to Miami for the next game. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Charlotte's had to wait a bit the last few years. Now, the city hosted the All-Star game last season. But for the Hornets, they've gone 3 seasons without a playoff appearance and 15 seasons without winning a playoff series. In that time, the franchise has had 7 head coaches and a shifting front office. But Buzz City is hoping that its wait for playoff relevance will end soon. Kevin?
We all are. David, thank you. Now, here's Biyombo. Pass to Rozier. Charlotte moving the ball around. Clock at 6. From past the arc. The rebound by Johnson.
His offense has been non-existent tonight. It's really hurting him.
The dish to Russell. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Rozier, the pass to Hernan Gomez.
Oh, man, elevating his passing ability. Dimes like this from Rozier help him establish chemistry with his guys.
Here's Russell. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Nets in Brooklyn. Now, here's Culver. Graham defending. The shot by Lehman, no good. For Charlotte, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. To the wing right side. Rozier for 3. It's good from long range. Rozier's got 6.
Oh, beautiful looking 3-ball from Rozier, really expanding his range.
And one of those little spark plug guys, Terry Rozier, plays the game with Greg, I think, a chip on his shoulder.
I mean, the story goes, as a kid, when his temper flared, his mother would have to sit on him until he cooled down. He's learned to channel that fire and emotion into his game.
Here's Russell. Plays it up and banks it in. Russell's got 4 points this quarter.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Rozier, the pass to Batum. Minnesota with the rebound.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Second shot opportunity and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Chris, you have been passionate about honoring those who blazed the trail for today's NBA, like the Globetrotters and the Wrens, in the days before integration.
Yeah. I mean, you think about what they've gone through off the court and on the court, and anyone, regardless of color, nationality, of just paving the way for me as a basketball player, I want to say thank you. Let's just think about what Red Auerbach did. Drafting the first African-American player, making the first African-American player coach in Bill Russell, who won the championship that year, and leaving him a good team. And if you look at organizations like the Black Fives, who bring an awareness to the games, and you just want to understand your legacy culturally. And that's why I have to, every time I see Mr. Bill Russell, Big O, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I give him a big hug and a wet kiss on the cheek, because I just thank them for not only advancing the movement in sports, but culturally, sports has always sent a message to the culture and society about how cool teammates work together and how you can overcome a problem by working together. And so I really thank them for enduring all of the hardships that they did so that we can reap the benefits. So it's been awesome to be part of the league and be able to shake hands with those that have blazed trails for us.
That is so admirable on your part. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And was last season really the first full season we got to see of Malik Monk? It was given a sizable part of the rotation and showed why he was a lottery pick for this team.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. During most of his rookie season, Monk was relegated to the bench.
Not sure if it was development or opportunity. Hard to say for Monk. Fact is, you can see the knack for scoring he has, even if he's a bit of a volume scorer at this point.
He's perfect from the line this time. Floor spacing, Chris, now so big in the NBA. And big men have the room to put up some unbelievable numbers.
Oh, man, look at Lopez out there in Bucks land. I mean, look what he's doing in Milwaukee, just shooting threes from deep. The same, you got to go to Embiid, Porzingis, and we already seen what the great Dirk Nowitzki has done through his career spacing the floor. Look, it adds time on to your career because you don't have to just go down there and bang and be one-dimensional in the paint. It makes your teammates better because now you're spacing the floor, which gives them room to drive. And if you're really working on your game, you can really make your teammates better because now you have more passing lanes because you're further away from the basket. So as any post player knows, it's a blessing to be surrounded by great shooters, and now big men, they got a little more room out there.
Now Beasley after the missed 3 from Malik Monk. Outside, Towns. Here's Johnson. Hernan Gomez trying to break free. Johnson's shot is off. Charlotte has gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Graham surveying the floor. It's stolen by Hernan Gomez. Beasley with a clean look. That's good, and Johnson with the assist. Beasley's got 6.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Graham with the ball. He's guarded by Russell. Here's Zeller. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That one is on Towns.
Well, you can't blame the defender. He was trying to be aggressive, but Zeller with just too much size and athleticism.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Zeller.
They've hit every one of their free throws here in the second quarter. Very important when you're trailing.
Okogie's checked in for James Johnson. And so Zeller nails both of them. Minnesota with the ball. Pass to Russell. Another field goal for him. 4 for 6 shooting tonight.
And this is why you like size in the backcourt. Russell taking the hit, yet still able to finish.
Back to Bridges. And it's slammed in by Bridges.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Now here's Beasley. He's got 6. Shot clock at 6, 13 feet away. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Here's Graham. He's been patient so far, nothing on the scoreboard yet. The shot by Monk is no good.
He's been cold, and it's been hurting him. The D, was ready for him. He hasn't been able to solve it.
The Timberwolves have had an off night from the stripe tonight.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
The first one falls. He hits both from the stripe. And so Graham will bring it up for the Hornets. Now the pass to Monk. Shoots the 3. Herman Gomez grabs the miss.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Towns finds Beasley. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Shot clock at 5. Puts the fadeaway right on the money. Hernan Gomez has got 6.
He must have a real good feel for the fadeaway. He uses it even when no one's on him.
Passes it to Monk. Over Beasley. The shot's good from Monk. 10 points for him.
And the firepower that Monk possesses on offense, it's impressive. An explosive scorer who likes to pull up from that range.
Now here's Towns. 11 points in the game. Here's Russell. Hernan Gomez trying to break free. And Russell with the basket on the assist by Towns.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It's a lazy effort. Let's just be honest. Hoping the shooter misses, that doesn't constitute defense.
Here's Monk. A 29-point game for him in the win against Chicago.
And you look at his free throw numbers. It shows you how much pressure he put on the defense.
Here is Russell. Following the basket by Malik Monk. Russell passes to Towns, and Towns throws it down.
Using outstanding floor awareness there. Russell's ability to pick apart the defense and find the open man.
Graham with the ball. He's guarded by Russell. Here's Monk. Count it.
Taking things into his own hands. He's been a beast this quarter.
Minnesota's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Russell passes to Okogie. Kicks to Towns. Timberwolves passing it around. Kept alive. And the basket by Okogie. Okogie's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Straight up effort gets him those points. That's what it's all about on the offensive glass.
And here is Graham. He had 15 points last outing. And here's the break. Here's Beasley.
Russell!
And the rebound goes to the Hornets.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here's Graham. No points in the game yet for him. Pass to Bridges, and Charlotte turns it over again.
And let's quickly take a look at some stats for Zeller. He had a strong showing last season. Averaged about 10 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. And you look at his scoring, he was #1 on the team last season.
His ability to play through contact, his exceptional concentration, that's what makes him a great finisher.
Okogie misses. The Hornets have gone 7 of 14 in the second quarter, shooting to the tune of 50%. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points, with a chance for another one at the stripe.
Shooting 1.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
The Hornets have shot just above 55% of the line, going 5 of 9. And some changes here for the Hornets. Hernan Gomez is checked in for Washington, and it's Rozier in for Malik Monk. And then for Minnesota, Lehman, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Turner comes in for Josh Okogie, and Culver's subbed in for Russell.
Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one falls for Graham. 1:09 left in the second quarter. Now, here's Culver. Rozier defending. Culver's shot is off.
The D making that layup look very uncomfortable for him. Good aggressive work down low.
Rozier against Towns. Here's Hernan Gomez. The kick out to Rozier. Just 5 on the clock. Takes the 3. But they get it back. Here's Zeller. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Beasley outside. Second chance shot. And he lays it up and in. Towns has got 6 here in this quarter.
And from day one, Towns has been one of the NBA's top post players. A versatile, well-rounded game on the low block. It doesn't hurt that he can step outside and knock down the jumper either.
Now Turner, 11 points for him in that last game against Brooklyn. And Towns the bucket on the assist by Turner. Towns has got 17.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Oh, yeah, and that's what you love about him. He shows no mercy, even with a comfortable lead.
It's been all about Karl-Anthony Towns for Minnesota. Willing his team to a successful quarter performance, he seemed to stop at nothing to push the momentum. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by. Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
What a start it was for Karl-Anthony Towns. He ended up with 17 points, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds. And, Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
They're going right to the rim, finishing every chance they get. The D was helpless trying to stop them and beating them inside. I love the relentlessness and the aggressive style. This is how you impose your will on another team.
And, big fella, your thoughts on the Hornets?
They relied way too heavily on three-point shot in the first half. Their long-range game was off. That's my off sound, Ernie. They were off. But they still settle for the outside shot. They got to put more pressure on the defense by pounding it inside and attacking the basket.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Karl-Anthony Towns has been sensational.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
Bringing the physicality. I mean, they kept working it to him, and he kept delivering.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the court for the Hornets, Washington and Zeller are in the middle. Then there's Monk, then it's Bridges, and it's Graham in at point guard. And there it is for him.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the D had collapsed on it.
Russell passes to Okogie. Now, here is Hernan Gomez. And Russell gets it to go. 12 points for him.
With a gentle touch inside. Russell really improving as a finisher.
Here's Graham. He's guarded by Russell. Graham with the ball. In the corner, it's Monk. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Minnesota's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory.
And you look at how Towns is so effective on offense, and it's because he really has the entire package for a big man. Back to the basket, facing up, playing outside or in, off the bounce or on the catch. This guy can do it all.
Now, here's Monk. Tight defense on him. Zeller, nice shot from the wing.
Well, if he gets his feet set and you give him time, Zeller can bury that in rhythm.
And Greg, as you said, it's the skill level of Towns at his young age that is so incredible.
Very capable three-ball shooter, but he likes backing you down on the block as well. You step back and look at what he can do for a team, and there aren't really any holes in his game.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers and, in his words, was kicked on the way out. But he's become an all-star in Brooklyn. Russell said, "It's a heck of an accomplishment. That respect from your peers, your coaches, other teams, it's a great feeling." And Kevin, given how it started for him in L.A., many remain shocked by Russell's rapid ascent.
Coming into his own, you're right, David. Thank you. Here's Monk. 14 points for him. And here is Zeller. Over Towns. Shot by Zeller, no good.
Hey, yo, get on Karl-Anthony.
Towns down low. And finished off by Hernan Gomez.
Nothing soft about the putback there.
And why chance it, right? Take the dunk if you've got it.
Yeah, guys, but where was the box out? No excuse letting him roam that freely on the glass?
And the pass to Monk. Over Beasley. Zeller passes to Washington. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Oh, that's a well-deserved assist. Not every player has the vision to make that feed.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. That free throw good from Washington. And so it's Russell with it. He brings it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Beyond the arc. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Even with the D giving him a lot of attention, he's still finding ways to light him up.
Pass to Monk. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, last season, Kev, Malik Monk got more chances on the floor. He still showed a bit of inconsistency, and that's going to be something that he'll have to smooth out with time.
And the first one at the line is good. And, Chris, you forget just how young Monk was when he came into the NBA.
Yeah, true. His game was very raw, and it's still a work in progress. But you see the flashes of what he's capable of. And, Kevin, ultimately, you want him to be better on the defensive end as well.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
And Monk is an interesting player, a combo guard with fantastic scoring potential, quick on both ends of the floor.
Beasley right side. Over Monk. Passes it to Towns. Shoots over Biombo. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
Oh, don't forget about this fella for a second. He is the definition of dangerous.
Pass to Washington. It's blocked, and he gets it back. Another shot.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
Beasley, the pass to Towns. That one falls. Towns has got 4 points in the quarter.
And nice job taking what the defenders gave him. These guys need a gut check right now.
I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. You have to know the scouting report. He's a threat from out there.
On its way from Monk for 2. Rebound, Minnesota. Reed's got 4 rebounds now tonight. For 3, Beasley. Monk grabs the board. Monk's got his 4th rebound in this one.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling. Yeah, easy call.
The Hornets have gone 9 of 13 from the line.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
That free throw good from Washington.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Terry Rozier's checked in for Malik Monk. The Timberwolves also changing it up. Johnson, he's checked in for Karl-Anthony Towns. And Turner's subbed in for Josh Okogie. And he makes both free throws. Here's Turner. No good there. Great D that time from Batum. To the inside. Clock at 6. From the corner. Charlotte no good that time either. Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the 3rd quarter. The pass to Russell. Falls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
Attention to detail is what's helped Russell improve his scoring ability every year.
Rozier against Russell. And he gets the bucket. Rozier's got 8 points.
Oh, even from that range, the floater is one of the toughest shots in the game.
Outside Russell. He dishes it to Beasley. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Russell's got assist number 5 here tonight.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
He's been fantastic, but he can't do it all by himself. Some of the other guys need to lighten the load and step up.
Charlotte making a switch here. Hernan-Gomez is checked in. Culver's checked in for Minnesota. And that one misses. And the big contract for Evan Turner entering its final year. Greg making over $18 million. Is he in line for a raise, you think?
Maybe not a raise, but he still remains a useful player. Never the most efficient scorer, but his rebounding and passing are what carry him.
Pass to Reed. He kicks to Russell. Free throw line jump shot. Good as the jump shot falls. Russell's got 19 points.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Harris passes to Washington. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
That's just the product of good pass work. I mean, nice team basketball right there.
Passes it to Turner. Pass to Reed. Outside Russell. It's good, and that takes him to 77% shooting this game, 10 for 13.
Well, with the role he's on this quarter, they're going to keep going to him and get that lead even bigger.
Here's Harris. Hernan-Gomez. It's good on the putback. Hernan-Gomez has got 6 points.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
Yeah, and those second chance points can add up. Reed the pass to Russell. Count it. Russell's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
And he delivers another blow. Something's gotten into him this quarter. He's carrying them offensively.
Now, here's Rozier. He's guarded closely. Turner against Batum. Crew on the 14-footer.
And this is an area where Batum can hurt you. This shot is a steady part of his attack.
Now Culver. 5 points in the game. Feeds to Johnson. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. 8 points for him.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Yeah. Horrible effort. It appears they may be on the brink of giving up.
And finished off by Hernan Gomez.
The basketball IQ Batum has, I mean, he's great at taking what the defense gives up.
Russell against Rozier. With some arc. And it's Russell missing.
Playing him tough inside and preventing the layup, that'll get the whole team pumped up.
Johnson against Rozier. And there's the pass to Hernan Gomez. To the paint, here's Washington. It's good.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota. Juan Hernan Gomez, he's checked in for Minnesota. Jake Layman comes in for Russell. On defense, the Hornets. Culver passes to Johnson, uses the glass to finish the layup. Johnson's got 10 points.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Here's Rozier. Graham, the pass to Hernan Gomez. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Bridges misses. Minnesota's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. The Timberwolves not shot all that well from the free throw line, 6 of 11. And he knocks down the first one. That one falls, so he hits both of them. A minute 20 left to play in the third. Charlotte shooting a hot 57% from the field in the third. Graham, the pass to Hernan Gomez. Good D by Johnson. Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Zeller grabs the board. Zeller's got his 8th rebound here tonight. And taken away by Johnson. Outside Turner. Inside, here's Culver. That falls. Nice feed that time from Turner. Turner's got 3 assists now in this one. They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
We've got 28 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Oh, Turner, he's so valuable to this team. He's a guy who can play multiple positions. He can score, rebound, he can pass as well.
The Timberwolves have gone 8 of 13 from the free throw line. First free throw is good. And both free throws good for Evan Turner.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Rozier kicks to Hernan Gomez. Graham with the ball. He has 5. No good again that time. Now, here's Culver. There's the three, and Turner the bucket on the assist by Culver. 9 points for Evan Turner.
Well, Turner really needs to keep hitting these outside shots. When he does, it stretches out the floor for his teammates.
And so it's Minnesota with a major 39-point lead here at the end of the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Great vision. He's a gifted passer. Has his finger on the pulse of this offense.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three quarters. And a look at the five for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. We've got Culver. Layman is out there with Evans, and it's Spellman in at the center filling out the middle. Offensive rebound. They shoot again, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
And he makes the first. Chris, what's your definition of most valuable player?
LeBron, Michael Jordan. Okay, okay, the best player in the league. That's my definition. Who makes players better? Who brings the fans into the game? There's only one type of player that's an MVP, and there's only about 6 guys in a year that can be MVP. But if you're talking about guys that help you, let's say, are the best on a contract or getting the most bang for their buck, you got to look at guys like a Siakam. You know, he's just making over $2 million this season, still playing on that rookie contract. And those are the guys that are on their way up. So you can always find young talent playing for maybe less than what they should be getting at that time. But the most valuable player continues to be the top 6 players of the league, period.
And the decision-making proving to be outstanding. Culver just has a knack for taking advantage of the D in the open floor.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It goes on Jarrett Culver.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
No good on that one.
One more.
And that trip coming up empty, missing both.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Here's Graham. Can't connect from 14 feet out. 3-on-3. Now here's Culver, covered by Martin. One negotiating concession the league wants from the Players Union: prospect attendance, Chris, at the draft combine and team-wide access to player physicals.
Well, this is a tough one because I don't think that a team that is not interested in you should have your physical. And we all know that information is shared, and so it should be genuine in the teams that are truly interested. And so I understand agents holding back on that. Medical information is something very serious that just because you have an opportunity to be drafted, your information shouldn't be spread all across the world just because you're at a combine. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but basically you just want a level playing field for everyone. And if we have that, it'll be better for everyone.
And the Hornets making a change here. Biombo's checked in. And he sinks the second. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. And here's Culver. Evans outside. Pass to Spellman. 6 to shoot. Unloads. No good that time. And the Hornets now going the other way. Martin, the pass to McDaniels. Powered down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
Oh, the movement off the ball is good. I mean, and the pass to hit him in stride is even better.
Noel. Graham defending. Passes to Lehman. Tries from 10. Here's Spellman. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
With the G League growing by leaps and bounds, one is now being brought to Mexico City, Chris.
I mean, first of all, let's go back to last season. Did you see how crazy those fans were in Jurassic Park in Toronto?
Yeah, they love it.
Can you
Take a
imagine
break.
Mexico?
Take a break.
Oh, my
They'll
God. This
you
would
better
be
believe
great. Mexico City, yeah. Let's bring everyone in, all the fans. And what I really love is that it's for the home fan base. So when I think of the Toronto Raptors, I think about the city of Toronto. I think about Canada and how it's theirs. And even though we're one league, that team is theirs, and they take that pride on, and it just brings so much more excitement. Can you imagine all the people in Mexico City being excited for their team? Oh, I want to be at one of the first games when that happens because I know the crowd is going to be sick. It's going to be crazy. I want to be there.
Both shots good from the stripe. Here's Graham. Outside Martin. Pass to McDaniels. Charlotte moving the ball around. Now the pass to Martin. From deep, drains the three-pointer. Now Culver. Pass to Spellman. A look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. 5 on the clock. Lets it go from the wing. Culver's shot is off.
Even when the D is playing off of him, the mid-range jumper shouldn't be the shot they're looking for.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And with the likely return of prep to pro prospects, Chris, some have argued for a high school combine to help determine who's ready to make the leap and who isn't.
I'm not really there with the high school combine. I still think that, you still have a level of college or a level of professionalism that can happen after. And I don't believe until you're ready to be evaluated for the pros immediately, should you have that combine. Your bodies are still growing. I talked to Jaren Jackson just yesterday, and he told me that he grew 2 inches over last summer. So I think it's a little unfair to judge these guys that early when their bodies and mentality still has a lot of development left.
Malik Monk, he's checked in for Charlotte. And he's good on the second. Minnesota's gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark, shooting the 3-ball well. Passes it to Culver. Here's Lehman. Just 5 on the clock. And rejection by McDaniels. They push it up 4 on 3. Wide open. Bacon's shot is off. The Timberwolves have gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. Drops in the tray.
Well, he's not going to get an easier look than that. You don't need to double team him, but you can't leave him all alone.
Pass to Martin. Back to Monk. To the middle. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Noel. Monk grabs the board.
Too tentative on the finish. Forget about the D. Take it up strong.
The pass to Bacon. They swipe it. Evans outside. Pass to Spellman. Chris, the other day, Adam Silver has been talking about how the All-Star game, that system, is not working. He's been proactive in considering alternatives. What do you think?
Well, I love what he's done already. Let's think about the All-Star game in 2019, letting guys pick their players like old school on the park. I mean, that adds a little bit of ego, and that's what you want because we want competition. We want guys that like each other, don't like each other, that are playing against each other, that we're in the finals against each other. We want all that competition, all that mental game that goes into it. And so I love the fact that he's outspoken, that he's definitely ahead of the problem. But I think he did a great job by letting players pick their teammates because that already causes a little in-team drama that we'll see play out on the floor with how hard guys are playing.
The first free throw is good. Devin Harris is checked in for Charlotte. And good on the second, so he makes them both. And so here's Charlotte. Chris, last season the Thunder became the final NBA team to reach an agreement for jersey sponsorships. Have you gotten used to seeing those patches on the various jerseys around the league?
You know what, Kevin? I have, and they're not as intrusive as I thought. I was.
Me too.
Man,
I agree.
Yeah, I was so scared of this. I thought it was going to ugly up the jerseys and be bigger than the team logo and things like that. But you know how great this league is when it comes to getting messages out to their fans and promotion. And so we've done a wonderful job. And actually, some I really, really like how they fit the jersey, how the colors matches, and the history of the company. Actually, so no, I think they've done a great job. Kind of. Just making sure it just slides in there, you know, not taking away the shine from the team.
And that one misses. And the second free throw, good. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. To the right side. Here's Layman. Stolen by Martin. For the finish, and finished off by Martin.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Oh, yeah, bang, bang. An impressive sequence that has them fired up.
Reed misses.
Oh, you hate to let those easy chances slip through your fingers.
Bacon the pass to Harris. Now Martin, covered by Evans. Martin goes in. He gets that one. Martin's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
All right, it's a lazy effort. Let's just be honest. Hoping the shooter misses, that doesn't constitute defense.
Here's Spellman, covered by Biyombo. 6 on the shot clock. Noel. That one's not going to go. And the Hornets now going the other way. Here's Reed. And the NBA 2K League, C-Web, the first e-sport operated by a U.S. pro sport. and it's quickly growing. Do you throw down on the sticks?
Yeah, just a little announcement to all the GMs in the 2K League. I am available. I'm a free agent. I'm ready to go. I'm nice on the sticks. I can play career mode, team mode, one-on-one mode. Whatever you need from me, I am ready to go. But I love it, man. It's great to see people who love this game, whether it's virtual or real life. It's hoops, baby.
So much fun. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
That free throw, no good. Cody Zeller's checked in for Biombo. Minnesota also with the sub. Evan Turner, he's checked in for Jake Layman. Good on the second free throw. Here's Harris. Pass to Zeller. Here's Bacon. Good work defensively by Turner.
I mean, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots out there.
Noel. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Zeller's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Here's McDaniels, and yes, it's good. McDaniels got 4 points this quarter. And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for the Timberwolves. Ball's knocked loose. Pass to Spellman. And he lays it straight in.
Look, that's a nice play. You need low post scoring to keep your offense balanced.
Harris with it. Up again. Zeller passes to McDaniels. Goes up again. Spellman with the rebound.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
Yeah, you can see why he's established that reputation. Strong understanding of how to defend at the rim.
5 to shoot. Noel. And another 3 for Minnesota.
In perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Well, it had to be. These days, you need to stretch the floor somewhat to make everything else work.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the first one at the line is good. Good on both. Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Timberwolves.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Karl-Anthony Towns.
Well, he had a hand in just about everything they did tonight. I mean, he just didn't take a single possession off on either end. He was the complete package.
And the pass to Spellman. Oh, what a beautiful play.
What intensity. Did you see that?
Oh, my
Great.
goodness. And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yeah, there's no doubt as to who was the better team. I mean, they proved it with this win.
One shot.
Way to go, baby!
There's 39 seconds left in the fourth. Harris outside. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Now, you can appreciate the fight now, but it isn't how they came into the game.
Yeah, how they ended this one is much different than how they started it, and that's a shame.
Now here's Evans. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Here's Spellman. He's covered by Zeller. Harris passes to Zeller. Here's Bacon. Evans with some nice D. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.